Welcome students. In the previous lecture we have discussed the front view and top view of this object, and in this lecture we will learn how to draw those two views on the grid sheet. And we will draw front and top of this object in first angle of projection. So over here I have drawn one reference line, and length of this object is 130 millimeters. So I have drawn a reference line of around 18 centimeters. Then after that we will label capital X, capital Y for that reference line in Gothic style. Then above the reference line we will mention vertical plane. Below the reference line we will mention horizontal plane, because we are solving this problem in first angle of projection. So let us start with the first phase. And we know that if we have to draw its front view, then we have to leave some gap from the reference line. So leave around 10 millimeter gap from the reference line, only then start the drawing of this face. So this is a curved face, but when we look at this curved face we will see a rectangle, and we have to plot the dimensions of that rectangle as 50 mm length and height as 30 mm. So let us draw that rectangle. So leave one row gap, align your scale with this row and draw a line of 50 millimeters, and it must be continuous thick and it should be of 50 millimeters. So after that we will construct its height. Height will be 30 millimeters. So on the other side also we will draw a line of 30 millimeters. Then we will connect these 2 points. To get the first face. Now you can see we are ready with the drawing of first face. Now let us plot the next drawing, that is of face 2. So let us start from this point, and its length is 20 millimeters. So from this point we will measure 20 millimeters. We will draw a horizontal line. Then after that we have to draw this vertical line. It is of 70 millimeters. So line your scale at this point in vertical position and draw a thick line of 70 millimeters. Now from this end draw a vertical line of 50 millimeters. So from this end draw a vertical line of 50 millimeters. Then after that we will draw this horizontal line of 80 millimeters. So from here draw a horizontal line of 80 millimeters. Then we will draw this height of 20 millimeters. Then connect these 2 points to get the drawing of second face. So after that we will plot this triangular face. It is very easy. We have to just connect these 2 points with a thick line. Okay, so after this what we will do? We will plot this hole. It is of dia 20 and its center is at 25 mm from this end. So from this end we will measure 25 millimeters. So from here measure 25 millimeters, mark a point. Then at the bottom also measure 25 millimeters, mark a point. Then align your scale with those 2 points and draw chain thin line. Draw it carefully. The length of long dash will be 10 millimeters, length of short dash will be of 1 millimeter, and gap between both the dashes will be of 1 millimeter. Then after that we will sketch this hole. Its dia is 20. So from center line we will measure 10 millimeters on both sides. So we will measure 10 millimeter this side, mark a point. Then from this point measure 10 millimeters on other side, mark a point. Similarly at the bottom also measure 10 millimeters on both sides of the center line. So let me mark the points now. Then we will align our scale with these 2 points carefully in vertical position, and we will sketch a dashed medium line. So this side also align your scale carefully and draw a dashed medium line. So we are ready with the hole also. Now let us represent this hidden face. The height of this face is 20 from the bottom. So from here measure 20 millimeters, mark a point, and measure 20 millimeters, mark a point. Then we will connect these 2 points carefully with the help of scale, and we will draw another dash medium line. Remember, length of dash is 3 millimeters and gap between 2 dashes is of 1.5 millimeters. And draw this line carefully with patience. Now we are ready with the front view of this object. What is the next step? We have to draw projectors from all the points of the front view in downward direction. So for that we have to line our scale with this edge first, draw a continuous thin line, then align with this edge, draw another continuous thin line, then with the next edge draw next projector, then take projector from hole also, continuous thin line, then take projector from center line as well, continuous thin line, then from this part of the hole, then from the last edge. So draw continuous thin lines. Draw these projectors continuous thin, parallel to each other and perpendicular to reference line. So after this we will start its top view. So let us start with this face, and let us start from this corner. So that corner will be over here that we have concluded in the lecture. So for this face length will be 80 and its width will be 60. So from this point we will sketch a rectangle of 80 by 60. So measure 80 millimeters, that will be up to this projector. Then from that point draw a line of 60 millimeters which is width. Then again draw a length of 80 millimeters and connect these 2 points to get that face. After that we will plot this curved face. Its length is 50, its width will be 60. So we can start from this point, draw its length carefully, 60, which will be up to this projector only. Then from this point sketch 60, sorry, it is 50, length is 50, width is 60. Then we will connect these 2 points to get that face. Now we know this object is symmetric about this center line, so we should draw its center line first. So total width is 60, so mark 30 millimeters. From here also mark 30 and line your scale with these 2 points to draw its center line. So draw chain thin line, 10:1. Draw it carefully. So it is chain thin, long dashes of 10 millimeters, short dashes of 1 millimeters, and gap between 2 dashes is of 1 millimeters. So we start with long dash, we end with long dash. So after this let us construct this hidden edge. So from this edge we got one projector, so we'll convert that projector into hidden line. So let us erase this projector so that our hidden line should be clearly visible. Align your scale carefully and draw hidden line. That is dash medium. 3 mm is the length of dash and 1.5 is the gap. So after that we will construct this face by using 2 hidden lines, and we know the width of this face is 40. So from center line measure 20 on both sides. So 20 this side and 20 on other side. Then align your scale carefully with respect to that point and draw a dash medium line for 70 mm length. or we can say up to this edge. So over here again, measure 20 millimeters from the center line, this point. So line these 2 points now and draw dash medium line carefully. Okay, now we will draw this hole, and we have already taken one projector from this center line from the front view, and where this projector and this horizontal center line are intersecting, that is the center of that hole. So let us convert this projector into center line within the view, and we will draw a short center line of around 20 millimeters prox, and after that we will use this intersection as center to draw the hole, and the diameter of the hole is 20 millimeters. So let us open compass to 10 millimeters because diameter is 20. So this as center, we will construct the circle for that hole, because from top that hole will look like a circle only, and draw it carefully. You can repeat 1 or 2 times with your compass, and make sure circle must be thick. So we are ready with the drawing of that circle, and we are ready with the top view as well. Now next step is we will erase these projectors which are outside the top view. And we will erase the projectors which are within the view. And let us correct this center line also, because we always start with long dash, we end with long dash. Okay, so we are ready with the front and top. Now we'll place dimensions. Let us start with the length dimension first. So total length is 130. So leave 1 millimeter gap, continuous thin line. Over here we will leave 1 millimeter gap, continuous thin line. So let me add dimension line here, continuous thin line. Then we will add closed field airwords on both sides, 3:1. So in between or in at the middle of this particular dimension line in Gothic style, we will write 130. So after that we will place its width. So total width is how much? It is 60. So that we can place here continuous thin lines. These are extension lines. Leave 1 millimeter gap first. Then draw dimension line, continuous thin line. Then add closed field airwords on both sides. And over here we will write its value as 60 in Gothic style. So after that we will label its total height. So let us erase these projectors first, because over here we have to draw the dimension line. Now align your scale with this base. Leave 1 millimeter gap here, continuous thin line. Then 1 millimeter gap here, continuous thin line. Then add a dimension line over here. Then we will add closed field airwords on both sides. Carefully 3:1. So total height is 70. So in Gothic style we will write 70. Now let us place the remaining length dimensions. So let us place this length as 80 over here. So 1 millimeter gap, continuous thin line. Over here also 1 millimeter gap, continuous thin line. Then we will add 80 mm length. Add closed field airwords on both sides. So in Gothic style we will write 80. Okay, after that we will place this dimension. It is 25 mm, that is for center line. That this center line is at 25 mm from this edge. So leave 1 mm gap, continuous thin line. So from center line, leave 1 mm gap, continuous thin line. Then add a dimension line over here. So we will add close filled arrows on both sides. So we'll write 25. Actually, we should place this dimension at the top, but I don't have space on my paper. That is why I have placed this dimension at the bottom. Now after this, we should label this length also. It is 20 millimeters. So align your scale with this line. Leave 1 mm gap over here, continuous thin line. So 1 mm gap left, continuous thin line from the view. Then add a dimension line over here. So add close filled arrows on both sides. So over here we will write how much? 20 in Gothic style. So after this, you can see this length we can calculate because total is 130 minus 80. So this will be 50. No need to place it separately. So we have placed all the length dimensions, but now we have to show this diameter. So this diameter we can show here because over here I don't have space at the bottom. So 1 mm gap, continuous thin line, 1 mm gap, continuous thin line. So line with this dimension line and add a dimension line over here. Close filled arrows on both sides of the dimension line. So over here we will write 520. Okay, so we have placed diameter also. Now let us place remaining width dimensions. So this we can place this side as 40. Leave 1 m gap, continuous thin line. Then from this point leave 1 m gap, continuous thin line. So now leave around 10 m gap, continuous thin line. Then we will add close filled arrowheads on both sides. So we'll write this dimension is how much? It is 40 in Gothic style. Okay, so we have placed all the width dimensions also. Now let us place remaining height dimensions. We have to show this height so that we can place here 1 m gap, continuous thin line. Then add a dimension line over here. So add close filled arrowheads. So we will say it is how much? It is 20 in Gothic style. So we will place these dimensions, height dimensions over here, 1 m gap, continuous thin line. Then 1 m gap, continuous thin line. Then from this line as well, 1 m gap, continuous thin line. So we have to place two dimension lines, one here and one between these two extension lines. Then we will add close filled arrowheads on both sides. Then we will write its value as well. So this is how much? This is 30 and this is 20. So we are done with all the dimensions. But over here in the top view we have missed this face. So let us complete this face in the top view. Its width is 12 millimeters. So from the center line we have to mark 2 points at 6 mm on both sides of the center line. So from center line 6 this side, mark a point. From center line 6 this side, mark a point. Then similarly somewhere over here mark those 2 points again. From center line 6 mm this side, from center line 6 mm on other side. Then align your scale with these 2 points carefully and draw a thick continuous line. Similarly align with these 2 points carefully and draw a thick continuous line. So we have represented this face in the top. Now the top view is complete. So I hope this answer is clear to you. Thank you very much.